Hi everybody, Dwayne Murtoff here, and this is going to be my second review of my 2024 GMC Canyon, which I purchased from Blaze Alexander GMC in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. Now today I've got the trailer on there. My plan is to get another trailer, a new trailer, and kind of update my branding to this new look here going on. So anyway, but this is about the truck. So I got a list of things here. I have about 5,000 miles on the truck now, and as you can see, this is what the rig, if you will, looks like with the trailer. And this is a 7-foot high, I believe it's either 6 or 7 wide, I can't remember, and then 12-foot long trailer. So that's what I'm pulling. I figure it's about 3,500 pounds. And yeah, well, let's get into my list here a little bit. So I would say the first thing I've noticed is I was unsure of the 4-cylinder turbo motor and its ability to handle what I needed it to do. And I would say I've been fairly, I wouldn't say surprised, but I would say it's done better than I anticipated. I was driving a 2007 Nissan Frontier V6, and you know, being used to a V6, I was like, well, 4-cylinder turbo, I don't know, but you really don't have too much of an option these days because everybody's going to the 4-cylinder turbo to meet the World Economic Forum's EPA regulations, which pisses me off, should piss you off if you're an American, because daggone it ought to be determined by demand that the customers have, not a bunch of unelected people and what they think is right or not right for the planet. So yeah, we'll leave that right there. So 4-cylinder turbo, I would say it handles the trailer pretty well. And the other thing I've really noticed is, I believe it's the track, in other words, the width of your front tires and how spread apart they are as compared to the Frontier. There's a lot less sway. The thing I still notice some is, of course, the tongue weight. So maybe with a dual axle trailer you won't feel that as much, but with the tongue weight I do notice that. And you know, but again, it's better than what I had. So I want to give a little shout out here to Jeff Painter at Milk House Productions. Jeff does my graphics work, and we just did this here the other day, just the GMC logo, the AT4, the 4 in the AT4, and then he did my the new logo and the graphics on the side. And Jeff is fantastic. He's a perfectionist. He does just a great job. And if you're looking for graphics work for your vehicles, I'd highly recommend Jeff Painter, Milk House Productions in York Springs, Pennsylvania. And I would give you the phone number if you need it. Let me know. But again, Jeff does a fantastic job. Just a perfectionist at what he does. Does it really well. So, okay, engine-wise, kind of covered that. Takes a little while to get used to the shifting. That is one thing I've noticed, because you've got a turbo. So it's doing things, if you will, at the front end of the process. And then you also have, of course, your transmission, which is doing things at the back end of the process. So it's taken a little bit to get used to that. I'm still not totally used to it after 5,000 miles. Just thought I'm just going to throw oil changes in here while I'm thinking of it. I've done an oil change at 1,500, and I've done a second oil change at 3,000 miles. My understanding is with these turbo motors, you got to make sure you keep your oil good and clean, and I'm going to do my best to do that every 3,000 miles. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the shopping process. I didn't talk about this last time, but my gosh, the GM Chevy website and trying to configure a build that you want at the price you need it at is beyond frustrating. It is just, it's absurd to me that to get, like, I wanted, if I remember correctly here, I wanted a sunroof. And in order to get a sunroof, I had to buy the technology package, and the technology package was like an extra $3,500. Now on the website, it says the sunroof is $1,000, but then you got to buy the extra $3,500 worth of stuff that you don't want. So now you're at $4,500 for a sunroof, which is insane. It just didn't make any sense. So if I do decide to get it done, it'll be done aftermarket, and I've already priced it and have a company in mind, and they're about $2,000. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. If you're interested, the tonneau cover, because this truck is only 2 years old, it's hard to find companies that are making the tonneau covers. Again, I'll give a little shout out to Wendell's Hot Rod Shop in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. This is a Century tonneau cover, and I've been happy with this. In fact, it really is great, because you can see this gasket here. I have an uncle that just recently bought a Ford Ranger, and it didn't come with the gasket. His was leaking, and it was a problem. But this Century tonneau cover, I've been very happy with it. It completely keeps out the water. And I was just in Georgia. I went down there to help a friend with some home improvement stuff. They just bought a house. And I took the truck alone, didn't take a trailer, just the truck, drove it down there, and I came back in the hurricane. So the hurricane that's going on in North Carolina right now, it just wiped out all the roads. I believe it was Helene or Helen, depending on how you pronounce it. This kept out all the water, and I had tools in the back, nail guns and all kinds of stuff. While I have this open, I'll tell you a little bit about the power charger. So they have the outlet back here in the Canyon. You can see it right down in here. So there's the power outlet. Yeah, there we go, right there. That's your power plug. And so I've got batteries that are back here charging. Now what I've noticed is you cannot charge your batteries if you have your engine deactivation on. So again, another one of these EPA regulation things. But if you have your engine deactivation button on, if that's on, it is not going to send power to your power outlet in the back of your truck. So that's just one of the things I wanted to make you aware of. If you're a guy like me, you're making your money with your tools, you need to have your batteries charged up. And I do use the charger, but it will not work unless you've got engine deactivation turned off. Let's see, what else? Headlights. Okay, so in my case, I did not get the GM factory brake controller and that setup. Did not get that on the truck. So I needed a class 3 hitch to pull this trailer. From the factory, they come with a class 2, not a 3. So I had to take off the cross member down here, install a class 3, and so it didn't make any sense for me to get it. However, I don't know how that affects the headlights. The headlights in the truck are controlled through the touchscreen, and it's annoying. One of the reasons it's annoying is if I have this trailer on, I have to go into the touchscreen and turn the headlights on in order for my trailer lights to work. So in other words, I'll go down the road, my trailer lights won't be on at all unless I go into that touchscreen and turn everything on. Even though the lights on the truck are supposed to be automatic, they will not turn on my trailer lights. So I don't know if that's just because I have an aftermarket brake controller connected. I'm not sure. And the brake controller I got, I'll show you that real quick here. I don't remember the name. I got it on eTrailer. Someone else had bought in, I guess, a Colorado, and they had the same situation. They needed to figure out what kind of a brake controller they needed. So this is the brake controller. And I would say I'm happy with it overall. It's a little different than the one I had prior, but pretty good overall. So that's the brake controller. let's see. There were a couple other things here. I'm gonna go back to my list. The headlights is what I was talking about. I did find that the headlights, this annoyed the living daylights out of me until I figured it out. And maybe it's just a GM Chevy thing and I'm not used to it, but you can turn your highs on by clicking this forward or pulling it back. And I did not know that. So I was having all kinds of irritation with my headlights until I figured out that you can turn the highs on and off there. So that's good, because that was really irritating. Okay, one other thing. The truck will shut off after 15 minutes. In other words, let's say you're in a parking lot like this. Sometimes I'm doing estimates. I want to jump in the back of the truck. I plug in my laptop. I'm sitting in the back seats here, and I'm doing proposals while I'm waiting at a vendor. This is what happened to me. So I'm waiting at the vendor. I got the air conditioner on. All of a sudden, the truck shuts off. I'm like, well, what's going on with that? Well, the truck automatically will shut off after 15 minutes if it's not moving. Again, you know, this kind of smart vehicle stuff is annoying to me. I think they're going way too far, and they're in your personal lives way too much. You know, if you're caught in a snowstorm or something like that and you can't move and your truck shuts off in the middle of the night, you can freeze to death. I mean, I realize that's a kind of a ridiculous situation, or you know, sounds a little crazy, but it's happened. So I just think there's too much overreach going on. Let's see here. I'll talk about the side steps. I'm 6 foot tall, wear a 32 length pant, and if that matters to you at all, I'm comfortable in the cab. There's plenty of room. Like I said, I just drove down to Georgia with the truck alone, with no trailer, and there's plenty of room inside. The side steps I had them on for probably about, I'd say about a month and a half. I bought a brand new set off of a guy that had them on a Chevy Colorado, and he took them off. I put them on the Canyon. So if that's something else that interests you, the side steps that fit the Colorado will also fit the Canyon. You don't have to modify anything. They'll just line right up, and you run the screws in and you're good to go. But for me, what I was finding is I would come out of the truck and it would push my leg away from the truck, and it just was annoying. So I decided to take them off. They do fit the track of the tires. In other words, they're gonna fit the same side profile as your tires. So they're not gonna stick out this way beyond the tires. They fit with the track of the tire. Let's see, what else? An annoying thing, the headrest. The headrest, at least for me, it's not adjustable in the way I need it to be adjusted. And what I mean by that is it's too far forward. So I'm driving down the road and my head is bumping into it all the time, and I can't move it back. They just don't let you move it back. Really annoying. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about that. Okay, I'll hit something else. One morning, probably, I owned the truck 3 weeks, let's say. I come down out of where I live, come down to the street, I parallel park, all 4 of my windows are down. I have no idea why. It hasn't done it since, but I'm like, good grief. You know, if it had rained, you know, I could have destroyed the inside of my truck, or somebody could have stole something. I have no idea why, but all 4 windows were completely down, and it looked like they were down most of the night. Again, I don't know if that's part of this software update stuff or what's going on, but that was, you know, that's not cool. Okay, if you're a trailer guy or you're pulling a trailer like I am, you might be wondering, you know, this truck has a lift. I think it's, I want to say 4 inches, if I'm not mistaken. It's either 2 to 4 inches from the factory. And I did not know what size. I'd never bought a drop hitch before, and you can see I have one on here. So this is an 8-inch drop hitch that I'm using on this trailer. Clearly, I do not need all that. I could have gone with a 6. So if you're looking at one of these trucks, either the Canyon or the Colorado, I think a 6-inch drop hitch is going to meet the bulk of your needs that you have, and I think that'll serve you pretty well. Again, I did not buy the trailering package, so I had to install the plug. So I installed the plug myself, I put the hitch on, and then I took it to GM, my local GM dealer here in Mechanicsburg, and I had them install the brake controller. And just for your, personal information, I want to say they charged me a little over $200 to do that. And I wasn't sure. I had done some research online. I was thinking about doing it myself. And the more I looked at it, I thought, well, I don't know how all this stuff works with the automatic headlights. The other thing was I couldn't find the wires, where the wires were coming into the truck that you need to hook all this stuff up. They do appear to be in this area, which is also where GM put them in the Silverado and some of the older models. But again, I wasn't sure how all the electronic stuff worked, so I didn't want to go messing with that. So I decided to have it professionally done there at GM, and they, like I said, they charged me a little over 200 bucks. Let's see here. There's one other thing I thought maybe I'd talk about. That's gas mileage. Okay, so I drove this truck with the tonneau cover and a bunch of tools, and the tools were like nail guns. I'm trying to think of what else I took down there. It was some heavier stuff. Nail guns, a bunch of batteries. Anyway, long and short, I would say I probably averaged about 20 to 21 miles to the gallon with the truck by itself. Back seats were loaded with, clothes and stuff like that for the week. So that's probably what you're getting out of it. As far as with the trailer, I would say, it's not great gas mileage, to be honest with you. But nothing really is, whether I was pulling it with a V6 Frontier or with this vehicle. I might be getting 11 to 14, something like that. It's just hard to say. And the other thing that matters too is, of course, the amount of weight in the trailer. So, but overall, I would say it's handled the trailer well. The tongue weight thing still bothers me, but I don't know how much you can really expect a vehicle to do or not do. So, okay, well, I'm about a little over 17 minutes here. I think we're going to wrap it up there. I just had some thoughts on that stuff I thought I'd cover with you. If you're interested in one of these Chevy Colorado or GMC Canyon trucks, again, this is a 2024. I purchased it new. And I'm just looking over my notes here. Okay, I think that's everything. So, okay, folks, well, hopefully you've got some good information there or something to help you out if you're thinking about buying one of these vehicles. And like I said, comfortable inside, nice and quiet. I like the Bluetooth connectivity. However, I just found this out too. The GPS does not work after a month because it's connected to OnStar. So you're not going to have those on-screen options that you get, that they show you when you first buy the truck. So I am probably not going to buy the GPS option, but I am, or the OnStar option, or whatever it is, their monthly subscription fee that they want you to buy. What I'm trying to do though is I am trying to find a way to run the GPS through my phone and have it pop up on the screen. So if anybody has a way to do that, I'm not a big fan of downloading their app either, to be honest with you, because GMC was busted for collecting and selling data of their customers, which was reported on by Tim Pool on the Timcast IRL. Probably maybe 2.5 months ago, he reported that. So again, I'm glad GMC got busted for that. I'm sick and tired of the World Economic Forum and their this whole track and trace and spy on you crap all the time. They're a bunch of tyrants and not cool. And unless we the people push back on these manufacturers for doing this stuff, it's only going to get worse. So I'm glad they got busted. I would say overall I'm happy with the truck. It does take you a little bit sometimes, if you're a guy like me, to get used to having a 5-foot box rather than your 6-foot box. It does limit the length of things you can get in the vehicle, and you got to, I had to find a way to get all my tools in there that I needed. So I had to build some custom stuff to make that work. But okay, that's my review. I'm over a little over 20 minutes. Hopefully there's something helpful for you there. If you do have questions, let me know, and I'll do my best to get back to you. Thanks, everybody. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for checking out the video. We'll see you next time.